to another week and another hunt. So, boy, the last few weeks have been really slow. I mean, aside from the trip, obviously, but the regular hunts at the Targets and Walmarts have not been great. So hopefully it turns this week. I've got my fingers crossed. But what am I looking for? All right. Still that archive wave in Star Wars. I still have not come across it. I'm seeing people find it left and right, and I still have not come across that archive wave. I need the Dengar and I need the Palpatine especially. So I need those two. And I've decided, you know what? Even though I was out on this line before, I'm jumping back in. I said I'd be out, but it pulls me back in. And that is the G.I. Joe classifieds. I don't know if it was the a trip to North Carolina that got me pulled back in, or whether just all the new figures that are coming out and they're being announced, and then the Cobra Hiss gets announced for HasLab. I don't know. I think it was a confluence of all of these events, but I'm back into the line. Thankfully, I never got rid of what I had, because that would have been really bad. But I did miss a few along the way, but I still have a decent amount. But I think I'm going to get into the next wave that's going to be hitting the stores. So we'll see. So that's what my primary focus is going to be this week, what I'm looking for. And, you know, obviously I come across other stuff all the time that piques my interests, and we'll see what happens. But right now, let's head on into our first store and see what we can find. All right, so here we go. First store of the week, first Walmart, and here's the Transformers. And nothing new there. Looks like a couple new Legacy figures, though. At least ones that don't look familiar to me, that I've been seeing over and over, so that's good at least. Nothing new for Marvel Legends. Poor America Chavez will just not go away. Nothing new for DC McFarlane over here. It's weird that King Shazam has resurfaced. Thought we saw the last of him before. And look here. Look at this. Finally, the archive wave. The whole wave is here. Of course, I didn't pan the camera up all the way, but the C-3PO. The C-3PO is actually, the card was kind of busted up, so I didn't grab it. But I did get the rest. I got 2 Palpatines because I got one for my buddy who needed it. So I got a Dengar, 2 Palpatines, and Lando. But pretty exciting to finally find this wave. There's the wrestling section. Nothing new going on here. AEW is just peg warming hard, at least that wave. And I'm going to go down the Lego aisle for my buddy Scott, who seems to enjoy Legos, especially Star Wars Legos. So here you go, buddy. This is for you. Don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm sure you do. Although this appears to be all the same stuff that I've been seeing. Here's the NECA section. Nothing here. Yeah, nothing exciting at this NECA section. It's relatively well stocked, I guess, but it's just nothing that I need. Man, do I not like those turtles. All right, so got them. So excited. I went up to the register, to the self-checkout, and of course, it wouldn't let me pay for them. So like, God darn it. So, panicked a little. I called over the gentleman who was working, kind of monitoring all the self-checkouts. and he managed to override the system for me. So I got them all. I thanked him profusely. He's like, oh, I hope my manager doesn't find out. I doubt his manager is going to find out. He just put in random, he just put in generic code for a Star Wars Black Series. So I'm sure it's fine. I see people doing it all the time, and there's no reason for these to be street dated. It's not like they're associated with a movie where they're going to spoil something or anything like that. So, whatever. I'm just happy I finally got them. So, on to the next store. All right, so here's the first Target of the week, and this is a sign of things to come at Target this week, where every Target that I've visited was just a mess. Absolute mess. I mean, I think everything's being clearanced out, so that's what's going on. But, just everything is in complete disarray. A lot of the Batistas, remember when those were hard to find a few weeks ago? A lot of Beastmans. Beastman is everywhere now. And that is just an amazing looking figure too. Buzz Lightyear stuff. Transformers. DC. Let's see. Nah, nothing really great there. A couple of these new Marvel Legends. Wolverine is cool. There's the Thor from Love and Thunder. Have you guys seen the movie yet? I saw it the other day, and I was not impressed. I thought it was a bottom tier MCU movie. Just thought the story was kind of... it just did nothing for me. I didn't think the acting was that great. I don't know, the movie felt off to me. It was nowhere near as good as Ragnarok, which was one of the best MCU movies. It almost felt like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where it felt a little phoned in. And here we go. This is the Thor End Cap. Christian Bale was good as Gore the God Butcher, but he actually wasn't even in it that much. All right, here is another Target. No, actually, I'm not sure what this is. No, this is a Walmart. And this one had some interesting AEW figures. Like it had Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, which are not figures you normally see. They were out a while ago. Just looking around. All this stuff. Star Wars, nothing here. Except for her. One lonely Bo-Katan. All right, here. I have not seen this Joker yet. This is, I believe, the Death in the Family Joker, if I'm not mistaken. He looks cool. I didn't grab him because I have a couple Joker figures. Like, how many do you really need? But this is a cool one. See what else is over here. Nothing over here. There's some more of these. And they got several of these Jokers. I was definitely contemplating them, but ultimately I decided against it. All right, here's their NECA section. Best Jason figure of all time right there. Got these alien figures. I know what's going to happen with those alien figures. As soon as they stop appearing on the shelves, I'm going to want them. John Wick statue. other side of the neck section. Not much going on here. Dark Redeemer back here. Soul Crusher is back there. Gremlin 2-pack. Yeah, that's pretty much it for here. And here is, where are we? I believe this is another Walmart. Yeah, this is another Walmart. Transformers. I feel like there's a lot of new Transformers here, but I'm not really certain because I don't pay that close of attention to the Transformers. I'm done with Transformers, given the way the boxes are now. Unless it's something that I really want badly, I'm just done. I have everything I need for Transformers. Okay, here we go. Here's this line was there. So we got the Dengar and the Skiff Guard Lando. My buddy actually picked that up for himself. And here's our AEW section and Masters of the Universe. They actually had some new AEW figures. They had John Moxley, the new one. And they also had a awesome Chris Jericho, which I already had. Oh, there's what's her name? Chris Statlander. They had a Chris Jericho, which you guys will see in a minute. There's the Moxley. I already have a nice Moxley, so I don't need it. The one I have, I think, is better than that one, so it doesn't really matter. All right, there's the Jericho that I was talking about. That's an awesome Jericho. I already have it. I got it from Ringside Collectibles, so I didn't need to grab it, but it was the first time I've seen it in a store. Just looking further, nothing there. And that's that. And I went down further, and look what I found. It's the shipper for these new Clone Wars vintage collection figures. Had pretty much all the figures in there. I got all the figures a long time ago. They were in the stores probably 2-3 months ago, and I grabbed them all before. But they are now, just for whatever reason, re-released in the shippers. And here we go. This Foot Clan set, which looks pretty awesome. It's a lot better than the Ninja Turtles, but I did not get it because it's not going to scale with anything that I have. But it was kind of neat to see. All right, guys. So, I guess this is actually day 3 of this week's toy hunt. And so far this week has been the best one in a long time. I found a lot of cool stuff. Some actually to buy, and some actually just seeing on the shelves for the first time. So that's been pretty cool. And right now I am hitting up some garage sales, and I'm going to also hit up obviously Targets and Walmarts, all that kind of stuff. But I just got a good find at a garage sale, which was pretty neat. So first thing which I got, and this was only $2, so I was like, just the box alone is cool. I got the Chucky Killer DVD collection, which is pretty neat. Like the Chucky is like protruding out. He's like 3D, so that's pretty cool. And I also got this old McFarlane set. This is from like the late 90s, probably. A Kiss set, Psycho Circus. And this was $3. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. For $3, I can get that. Yep, 1998. We're gonna keep hitting up some garage sales and Targets and Walmarts this morning, and let's see what we can find. All right, so at this garage sale, I just did pretty well. Well, decent. I found a couple of decent games, which worth a couple bucks. This 2008 SmackDown vs. Raw. You never see PSP games. I actually need this game. I'm going to keep this in my collection. And Super Paper Mario. Got the 3 games for $4. So that was good. All right, so just found this stack of cards. I don't know if they're worth anything, but for $3, worth taking a shot at and looking through. So we'll see. I'll ask my buddies Century and Man Cave if there's anything worthwhile in there, because they know a lot more about cards than I do. But stack of probably about 200 cards there for $3, certainly worth a shot. All right, so this is another Walmart, and there's Blaster, which don't see that one too often. It's kind of a cool Transformer. I've seen it a few times, but not often. That figure I've never seen before, or at least not a lot. Let's see, nothing really going on here otherwise. Nothing new for DC. Really amazes me with the DC figures that they just keep releasing a million iterations of Batman, and they have so many characters in their library to make figures of, and that they just don't. This is kind of interesting. These Micro Machine. They look kind of neat. I didn't pick this up, but it's something new. It looks neat. TIE Fighter. But what I was saying about DC was, they have so many characters to make figures of, and they just don't. I mean, how many rogue villains are there for Batman? I mean, we don't really even have a good Penguin figure or a good Two-Face figure. All right, this is Target. That Walmart didn't have much of anything. Didn't even have anything good at NECA. And look at all these Batistas. 6 of them. Bo-Katan. At least something uncommon. Yeah, these all had clearance on them. This 2-pack, I've wanted this for a long time, even when it was $50. It's at $24.99 now. But it's so big and bulky. I'm like, it's just going to take up space. I don't really need it. So I didn't get it. Here's more DC. Yeah, how do we not have a good Two-Face or Penguin yet? Like a traditional Two-Face and Penguin. I don't understand. And there's so many characters that they just have not done yet. And all we keep getting is, variations of Batman. Or the Joker, or whatever. Or Superman. It's like, come on. I mean, how many of those do we really need? And here's this trash. Page punchers. All right, here's this NECA section. This NECA section in this particular store is always pretty well stocked. Had a lot of stuff. This Predator figure, I don't think I've ever seen it. This is an awesome looking figure. I contemplated it, but I ultimately didn't get it. But it's a great looking figure. I kept going back to it and looking at it. Carried it around for a little while, but ultimately decided against it. Yeah, this NECA section was a little bit of a mess, but had a lot of stuff. Nothing that I needed, unfortunately. But I like seeing a lot of inventory, at least on the shelves, so you guys can at least see it. That's the Jason from the 2009 remake, which I thought was actually an underrated movie. So I'm going to check out this new store that's in my area called Replay Toys. It just opened not long ago, so we'll see what they have to offer. I don't know the owner. I've never met him. Obviously, this is the first time that I've been to this store, or I'm going to the store, so not even sure if they'll let me film. But I'm going to check it out and report back, and hopefully I have some success in there. From what I've heard is that it's much more vintage than modern toys, which is cool. Definitely happy about that, to have a store in the area that's more vintage oriented. The other stores in my area are kind of split, but yeah, so we'll see what they have to offer. So I'll let you guys know. All right, so I did talk to the owner, and he did let me film. Super nice guy. I got a feeling I'm going to have a good relationship with this guy, and I'm going to be going back to the store a lot. The store just opened 2 weeks ago, and he's just still kind of setting up. He's got a lot more inventory, but he's still just kind of in the early stages. He has a lot of good stuff, a lot of good vintage stuff, a lot of good vintage turtles, like the ones that I just showed a second ago. Those are kind of the incomplete, cheaper ones. And look at this Marvel stuff right there, those Marvel figures. A lot of good vintage Star Wars, and those are the incomplete ones. Here is where he has, under the glass, like the really good stuff. Like complete Generation 1 Transformers. Look at those Ghostbusters sets, the Toxic Avengers. This is all original vintage stuff. Complete Jetfire, not in box, but it is complete, and it is in really nice shape. It was $200, which actually is not a bad deal. Now back here is where he's got really the good stuff. Look at that. It's a complete Millennium Falcon with box. All those Masters of the Universe figures are complete and vintage. Awesome G.I. Joe stuff. Look at these vehicles. Look at all of these Turtles figures. I thought of Century immediately. Every single one of these, I asked them, are complete. I actually ended up buying a couple of them. There's another glass case. He's got some nice superpower figures that are loose in there. But these are all loose, incomplete, vintage Star Wars figures. I grabbed a couple of them myself. I was like, wow, I am definitely going to be back because I'm going to be getting a lot more stuff here. I just know it. I had a great conversation with with the owner. It was one of those kind of people where you just, you hit it off with them. And I was probably in there talking to him for over an hour. He was he definitely was wanted me to film. It's good exposure for him. Here's some Lego figurines. Scott, let me know if you need anything. Take a look at these. I tried to go through this kind of slowly. I know you said you needed some. He's got decent Lego selection. He says he actually has more in like storage in the back and stuff like that, but he just hasn't put out yet. Here's some Black Series that he has, and amazing prices he had on the Black Series. Just phenomenal. A lot of the commons were like 20 and under. Like even the Commander Wolf back there was $20, which is an amazing deal for that figure. He had the General Thrawn, the original Black Series one, not the Archive Void one, for $40, which is a great deal. I should have grabbed this right here, actually. I didn't, but maybe I'll grab it next time I'm there. But like I said, this is, from talking to him, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what he has. And he's still just, again, processing going through everything and to set it all up. The store's brand new. It's only been open 2 weeks. And Chuck Norris figures. I remember those from back in the day. Some more Motu up there. Welcome to the haul portion of this week's toy hunt. And this week I thought was actually a pretty fun hunt. It did find some stuff. It's been more fruitful than the last, I would say, month or so. Things are starting to rotate through in the stores. You can tell the stores are definitely clearing stuff out. And probably in the next week or two, we are going to see a lot of new inventory, is my guess, because there's a ton of clearances. Everything is kind of a mess, and you can just sense that everything is being moved out in order to put fresh stock on the shelves. So my prediction is the next couple weeks, we're going to see a lot of new stuff on the shelves, which I am really looking forward to because we need it. We haven't seen a lot of new stuff lately, but this week I did manage to find some decent stuff, so I was very happy. Well, you guys will see in a second what I found. But this week I actually tried something a little different. My buddy, who's been kind of joining me on the toy hunts lately, I kind of keep him in the background. He doesn't really want to appear too much on camera, but he's been going with me, and he calls me up Friday night, and he goes, and this was like 8 o'clock at night. He goes, "Want to go do a little toy hunting right now?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" Usually I don't go that late at night, just to kind of get a different experience, and it was a lot of fun. We just had a lot of laughs driving around, and you see a lot of different characters that late at night, and especially in Walmart. Let me just say that there's a lot of weirdos that shop at Walmart later at night. So, but anyways, that was when I actually found some stuff, so that was kind of cool. But anyways, let's just jump into the finds. So first thing which I found, and this was one of my goals, was the archive wave from Star Wars. Now, the only one that I didn't get was C-3PO because the package was a little busted. But I got the other three. So, got Dengar, Lando, which, yeah, Lando, but this is kind of a different Lando, obviously, in the Skiff Guard, so I thought that was cool. And the one that everybody's after, Palpatine. I actually have this Palpatine, the original, so this one I actually might pop open. I probably will. So, just to have a loose one, because I am starting to open up a few of the Black Series, as you can tell directly behind my left shoulder here. Alright, let's see. These I got actually on Amazon. The new G.I. Joe Classifieds are actually about to hit stores, and these actually came out on Amazon already, and I grabbed them. And the first one is the Heavy Artillery Roadblock. As I mentioned, I'm kind of jumping back into the Classifieds. They're just so good. Then this one is really cool. So I got that. And this one is just fantastic. This is such a cool figure. It's a Spirit. He's pretty awesome. Next, I got these from Ringside Collectible, and it is two new AEW figures. Got the CM Punk, which is pretty awesome. Although I'm not crazy about the figure, honestly. I wish he didn't have the jacket. I kind of wish he would have had his normal Best in the World white T-shirt, but that's okay. I mean, it's not the best figure in the world. But his face likeness is actually the biggest issue on this. His face likeness is not great when you look at it closely. But I'm sure they're going to put out 1 million of his figures. And this one I was super excited to get because he's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. And this figure is basically, it's an homage to his early career, and it is the Lionheart Chris Jericho, which looks awesome, except again, his face isn't great. It's okay. The Corza de Leon. So got those two new AEW, and you guys saw me you find the shipper for Star Wars Clone War figures at Walmart, which is pretty awesome. And I picked up another one of these troopers. Already had one, but just felt like getting another. I already have this entire wave. I got it a long time ago. It's kind of weird that they re-released it in the shippers now. All right, next, you guys saw me get this at a garage sale. It's the Kiss Psycho Circus of Peter, Chris, and the Animal Wrangler. Got this for, I think, $2 or $3. I don't even remember at this point. This goes for like 10 to 15 online. Nothing crazy, but I thought it just looked kind of cool. A stack of Marvel cards. I'll have to go through these. I'll have to like FaceTime Man Cave or something and go through them with them. All right, then I got a few video games. Showed these quick earlier. Burnout Dominator for the PSP, and Paper Mario and SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. These are like $15 to $20 games each. I might trade these into a video game store for credit. And for $2, the Chucky Killer DVD collection, which, yeah, whatever. All right. Next. All right. These are what I got at that new store, Vplay, which was, I thought, a really cool little store. I was very impressed with it. And he only opened 2 weeks ago, and he's still kind of going through his inventory. He used to own a toy store, I believe he said out in Oregon. And he moved here during COVID because of family. And he has been selling online in the meantime, but he wanted a new storefront, and that's the store Replay. And he basically, he's going to have a lot more stuff. He's just kind of still processing everything. I was pretty impressed. It had a lot of vintage toys, which I liked. And seeing Century get all those vintage turtles got my collecting bug for turtles going a little bit. And he had a ton of complete turtles for very reasonable prices. So I grabbed a couple. I'm sure I'm going to grab more as time goes on. But I grabbed a complete Casey Jones. And everything is in really nice condition. And a complete Space Uzaki Ujimbo. And I also got 2 complete vintage Star Wars figures, which was pretty cool. 2 that I did not have, at least complete. This one I did not have at all. And it is a Tuscan Raider, and it actually comes with the staff. And a Bib Fortuna. I believe I do have the Bib Fortuna, but it's not in this good of condition, and it doesn't come with the staff. So getting a complete one, it's pretty cool. All right, and last but not least, these 2 I got from, it was Amazon. They were on sale, and it's something that I'm starting to dabble into a little bit. I just want to get the ones that I truly want to read, and it's a great way to read comics. And I got a couple omnibuses, and the first one, and this one came from a recommendation from my buddy that's been toy hunting with me. He got this and he says, it is excellent. He says it's nothing like the cartoon. It's way darker. It's very savage. And it is the Masters of the Universe Omnibus. This thing is a monster. And he swears that this is really good. That it's not campy at all like the cartoon. That it's really excellent. So looking forward to getting into that. And I also got the new-ish Thor run by Jason Aaron, the one that started in like 2015. This has the first appearance of Gore the God Butcher, so that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna dig into that. I read part of the later run of that series. So those I grabbed on Amazon. They were actually like half off. I mean, omnibuses are like $100 to $150 normally, and these were half off, so I ended up grabbing them. I have a few others. I have a couple Star Wars ones. it's just something, like I said, it's a good way to read the actual comics if you don't want to mess with the original comics because of condition, that kind of thing. So anyways, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys have been finding. Let me know if restocks have actually already begun happening in your areas. I'm really curious to know. Definitely let me know what you guys have been seeing. If it's the same kind of stuff that I have, or whether my area is behind, I don't know. I'm very curious. But again, thank you again for all the support. Let's keep it rolling. And until next time, take care.